Hello, my noble band of outlaws. Outlaw Samurai coming to you live with a video. We're not outside, not cutting things. What's going on? He says, stroking his, stubble suspiciously. Oh, believe it or not, I actually am stockpiling right now. I'm taking a break from the constant cutting videos and such and so like that. I did an earlier today for a coworker, Danny. I kind of expedited his video uh, to the front of my video lineup as it was. We've been just trying to get shit caught up around here. Yeah. So what I thought we could do for this uh, Outlaw Samurai show, if you hear like a constant buzzing sound in the background, my fan is on. It's on the lowest setting, but it is on. We are going to be making poor man's tatami. Or, correction, I'm going to be showing you how I make poor man's tatami. This is currently the spike I'll use for the poor man's tatami. I know it doesn't really have a spiky end, but still. I'm starting to really love working in a store where you get all these old sale catalogs for nothing. I mean, they're just going to be thrown away. They were just going to be thrown away into the dumpster. Might as well get some use out of them. Eh, my noble band of outlaws? So, and before anyone freaks out, these are regular shorts. Pockets are right here. It's just I'm sitting on my bed. And there's shit in the background. A lot of shit in the background. I tend to just accumulate shit. Now, there are a couple of ways to which I make these. First, we get our bamboo peg, and some of it's just as simply as stacking a thick stack, like so, and merely just rolling them up. Now, I do actually have some of these soaking already outside, but I made them a little earlier today, actually. They've only been soaking for about an hour. Use my natural body clamp. And I've heard that these take so long to make. That can be true, but it depends on the thickness and how elaborate you make the layering of the paper. This is just rolled up. Traditionally, you're supposed to use string to tie these, but that's also tatami mats, and I don't have tatami or the funds to acquire it at the moment. It's fucking expensive as hell, even in the States. So I make poor man's tatami. Hence why my tatami stand is so high. Like when Gargoyle mentioned it yesterday on his live. My stand is that high because, in essence, my tatami is literally either just maybe 12 inches at the most or 24 inches. So I don't really have massive 36-inch traditional tatami rolls. Hello, my first viewer. Write a comment so that we know who you are. Just making some poor man's tatami. Oh, we lost a viewer. Yeah, well, I usually don't get anyone tuned in until the 20-minute mark anyways. I started early because I have some laundry to do. The other way that I tend to like making my poor man's tatami is, like I said, I basically just layer it up like so with the full length of the paper available. And if any of you out there know how to poison your tatami water so that gnats and shit that breed in water can't breed in it, but also every time I stick my hand in it, it's not like sticking my hand in acid, let me know, because I really don't want to have to soak these in bleach water. Because bleach is the only thing I know that is semi-safe and that will poison the water so nothing can grow in it. I suppose I could also put borax in the water. I'm trying Dawn dish soap as a poison right now. I mean, generally, Dawn dish soap is generally semi-safe to ingest. I mean, we use it on the utensils we eat with, so. Now, this method of tatami making is slow and arduous. Usually, I have a movie or something playing in the background, something that gives me noise, and not the dumbass washing his dump truck for the third time today. I swear, he washes that dump truck more than he bathes. Like, if he bathed every day, he'd wash that dump truck 3 times more. Don't need to wash it that much. It's just going to get dirty again. In any case, sometimes these things don't like to open. I've kind of developed the ability to get these things open to the quote-unquote middle fairly quickly just because of I'm just this used to doing it at this point. I have 3 full boxes of these things. So it's not that I'm short on poor man's tatami to make. It's just that I'm also struggling with large prolonged bouts of chronic laziness and don't want to make them and want to relax when I get home. Usually, whenever I'm doing this kind of shit, it's at night on my days off. For those of you who don't produce YouTube content regularly, you really don't, you won't necessarily completely understand the struggle that a lot of the content creators that do produce regular content, like myself, go through. Because it does take time, it does take money, and it does take a somewhat not laziness. Lazy laziness? Is that even a fucking word? Lazy. Hey, lazy. Oh, lazy. Laziness. Lazification over here. We're just making words. Like caveman. Cave grammar. Look, it is nice that my current place of employment, Menards, I can't tell you what store or where it is because that's the one stipulation. I can represent the products and such that my general manager said that I can rep our products all I want on my channel. I just can't tell you which store I work at. So I just look. So from now on, I'm just going to either say your local Menards or Menards. Where the hell did that go? And it's unfortunate that my current place of employment, my local Menards, does provide me with these cutting materials. And in all honesty, it's not really all that big. I mean, we were just going to throw these into a trash compactor anyways, but it's just the ability to have these on hand and the cool and the kind of, yeah, it don't matter, bro, just take them kind of mentality that a lot of my coworkers have in, or at least how the managers see it. It's like, hey, we're going to throw them our way already. He might as well get some use out of them. This saves me a lot of time, effort, and trips to Walmart to steal their free newspapers. And we can see that there's a substantial length difference between these two poor man's tatami. This one is double the length of this. But this one is almost, I believe, double the thickness with less paper than this one. You may be able to get, hey, Little Caesars, just showing everybody how I make my poor man's tatami. I was just saying that while this one has less paper but is thicker, and this one has more paper but is thinner. And you'll be able to get more cuts out of this long one and maybe one or two out of the short one. But these two different methods, which I'll show again, or you can backtrack earlier if you'd like, Little Caesars, just, it's kind of a toss-up whether you want more cuts with more paper or harder, more challenging targets, but generally less paper. It's kind of a toss-up. And before anyone freaks out, these are shorts. It's just the way I'm sitting on my bed makes them look like boxers. I have 3 whole boxes of these ads. Now, there are also other ways you can make these poor man's tatami. Another way that I haven't actually seen how this will work in practice. Again, we'll take our bamboo spacer pin. Is by rolling the corner up. And you have this weird, almost circular triangle-like thing. I have some of these soaking already, Little Caesars. It's just I made them like today, so I haven't had them soak overnight. And I honestly don't know how long these things need to soak. I mean, I guess it all depends on the thickness of the paper. But if Little Caesars, if you know any ways of poisoning water so that insects can't grow into it, and can't grow in it, aside from dumping half a gallon of bleach into the damn thing, let me know. Because I really don't want to have to soak these things in bleach water. Because it'll also kill the grass when I have to change the water. But yeah. Another method. This one is a little longer and requires a little more prep. But what you do is you basically take one half of the magazine and the other half of the magazine, like we do for the long, one, but the middle will be substantially thicker than both ends. The middle will roughly be double the thickness of either end. I hope I'm not boring you, Little Caesars. I know that my previous live streams have all been a lot more lively. But with the 4th of July coming up, I am trying to save up on my cutting. Salt would probably keep stuff from living in the water. Thanks, Little Caesars. I'll have to look into that. Maybe just dump a thing of salt. Maybe alcohol. Yeah, maybe I'll put some both. Throw some rubbing alcohol and some salt into the water. Really make sure those little bastards can't grow in it. Because I had slugs in my water, in my soaking water, a little bit ago. And I want them to, I don't want those kinds of things in my damn soaking water. Right now, I've got Dawn dish soap in it, so we'll see how that works. Like I said, I hope I'm not boring you, Little Caesars. Because this is by far the most time-consuming method of making. The salt will definitely kill the slugs. Sweet. Because this is the most time-consuming way of making poor man's tatami, the way I'm making it at this moment. But, fun fact, it also makes it a little longer. So you may also get maybe 2-3 more cuts out of this method than simply just unfolding it and stacking it up and then rolling it on itself. Don't know. We will see. I may end up having to get one of those big water troughs from Roll King. and filling it with water and making a wooden cover for it. That'd be fun as hell. This is also the hardest one to roll. And I'm going to roll this one fairly tight. As we can see, it's even fairly longer than our first one. Put that in my makeshift belly clamp. Yeah, who says being a fat man's impractical, eh? And like I said, the center here is substantially thicker and more resilient than either of the two ends. But these are also the hardest ones to soak because of its length. Because these will barely fit in the soaking tub I have now. This I would have to put in my bamboo soaking pipe. And so we have 4 different methods of making poor man's tatami. The longest method, but currently hardest for me to soak. The longest yet most evenly distributed method. Quick and dirty. And a yet to be tested way of doing it. I'm honestly actually curious to see how this will respond. What do you think, Little Caesars? About the way this is rolled and how it's going to cut. So I say, why wait? Let's go. Now I'll have to come back in here to get a sword. I think they'll work out just fine. Thank you. Excuse me. Yes, Mama's crocheting at the moment. And she can't sit in the chair that's not blocking the way out of the room for I don't know what reason. Set these down. Those are the dried ones. Wait, I need a sword. The funny thing is, if this wasn't live, it'd probably take me about twice as long to get everything situated.
I can't stop in the middle of a stitch.
Sorry, Little Caesars, if this is... well, I'm not sorry if it's entertaining you, but if it's boring you. Because it's about to get more lively in a moment.
No more.
The sword I have chosen to conduct this experiment with is none other than the Hanwei Raptor katana. Reason being is that I've never seen how, I want to see how the Unokubizukuri geometry lends itself to the cutting of the tatami mats. So, with that in mind, get the, and of course, I forget the goddamn pole. The little spiky thing in my room. Because these videos ever just come together the way I like it. Here they are. Like I said, I have Dawn dish soap acting as my kind of pseudo poison at the moment. I don't want to interrupt her sewing anymore. This should work. Yeah, that should work fine. Rednecks will prevail. I'm also curious to see how the Unokubizukuri geometry will bode itself to pool noodles. I know, like Eric Hussein and a lot of the others, they've done it already. Oh, damn. But I haven't. Whew. Oh, damn. Oh, this is heavy. Okay. The struggle is real. So we got pool noodles. And I'll get the noodle stand in a little bit. There's the, and I'll be right back with the time. The best part that works nice. The best part about this poor man's tatami is that if you really wanted to, you could actually just leave it sit on the ground and it will basically decompose into dirt. Unokubi Zakuri versus Poor Man's Tatami. I really wish I had a zoom feature for this thing. Three, two, one. Very nice. I honestly did not think that would cut as well as it did. On to the next roll. This one is a thick, meaty roll. And I've noticed something. You don't have to let these things soak overnight. Now, it could have just been the one that I soaked that way. But we'll see. This is the one where you'll generally get maybe just one cut out of it. Three, two, one. Okay. Okay. So far, Unabakuri Sakuri, it's impressing me. What's up next? I really need to actually make a spike. Hey, Gargoyle! You missed me doing the kind of tutorial on how I make my poor man's tatami. We're also testing out the tatami stand for its intended purpose. And so far, been doing fairly well, surprisingly. I'm actually very impressed. And we'll also see how well Unakubi Sakuri does this shit. Hey! She a thick girl. Also, You do not have to soak these things overnight like I thought. A couple hours will do just fine. Here's a little bit of a pro tip for all of you. When cutting poor man's tatami, keep paper towels on hand. Oh, that was the fuck up. Well, I cut through it. But still, I fucked it up. I honestly don't think I would be able to get through this with one hand. But what do you guys think? I believe I have 2 more poor man's tatamis. And then we will switch over to pool noodles and see how that goes. Okay. This is the thickest one I've made this time around. So we'll see how this goes. Well, I cut into it. I've gotten through rolls this thick with the Warrior O katana. Of course, with that thing's size, length, and mass, it kind of just goes through it on their own. Let's see what happens when I step into it. Well, if my spike hadn't have broken, I probably would have been able to cut all the way through. Ain't that just my luck? But I'm armed with a second spike. This is by far. Let me try some. The biggest roll and the one that I have the most confidence in of getting multiple cuts out of it. So, Gargoyle, Little Caesars. How are you enjoying the live stream so far? That kind of went in here and then just went all over the place. I will say one thing. 5160 steel doesn't stain as bad or as easily as 1055. And the Raptor has not lost any of its bite. Despite the fact that those were some fairly hard targets, I assume. At least that one was. In any case, we are now going to go get the pool noodle stand and see what kind of damage I can do on those pool noodles. Just your standard $1.90 pool noodle that you'll find at your local Menards. I must say, make sure you save them rebates. You send in your rebates. Rebates help you a lot. If you're a YouTuber and you go to and you have a Menards in your area and you shop there frequently, send in them rebates. All right, the rebates end Black Friday. You can send them up until Thanksgiving. All right, send them in. Make sure you send in them rebates and you get them rebate checks in the mail. Because them rebates are a major contributing factor to how I was able to amass the amount of cutting targets I have right now. Got to rep the savings. So, something to mention with the Hanwei Raptor is that the finish on the eagle's beak on the Fushira is already coming off. So, something to take note of. Just by a hair. I did the thing. I did the thing. And I got the thing. I have obtained Eric Hussein levels of pool noodle awesomeness. Why is it only on my live streams I get shit like this? Yay! I know what y'all gonna say. Outlaw, you did not do a Sharpie mark where the pool noodle starts to get stuck, did you? No, I did not. And oh yeah, that's a sliver and a crack. Those are some deep cuts. It may have just dulled ever so slightly. Not a whole discernible amount, but it's there. Oh, I see. I was boring all of y'all and you decided to leave. Understandable. What the hell is this geometry? I've never gotten that many consistent pool noodle cuts. Which makes me wonder. We all know what this stand means. It's bottle time. One thing I've noticed about the Unokubi Sakuri is you almost have to really watch your edge angles. Because it's really difficult to get this sword to twist halfway through the cut. And I think it's because of the fact that the spine on the cutting portion is thinned out to such a degree that it almost likes to twist and bend as it's cutting through. Of course, it may just simply be in the choice of bottle. That cut is perfectly clean and smooth. No discernible ripple. Though luckily I have a means of testing that. Let's see here. These bottles like to explode. With my keen forensicness, I have discerned that this sword may or may not be a little more picky than what I'm used to out of my swords. What I mean by that is I'm used to my swords pretty much cutting through whatever I throw at them smoothly and evenly. This one, although it did cut through, seems to not like bottles of harder plastic. So we will test this theory. This is a Glacier Mist purified bottle. You can get these at your local Menards for really less than the price you pay for a Coke, but slightly more than at Walmart. And with that, I felt absolutely no resistance, but to be fair, this and the standard water bottle are the thinnest types of bottle that you'll generally be cutting. So I don't know. I like the Raptor, don't get me wrong. It's proven itself to be a monstrously good cutter. It's just that, I don't know. I feel like it's a little more like, well, I don't really want to say it, but it's more like a nagging girlfriend. Where sometimes she won't give you any grief about the little shit that you do, and other times she'll go completely batshit crazy on you. Yeah. There's no discernible damage from hacking into that piece of wood. So, something I've honestly never cut on this channel and never thought I would is a vinegar bottle. We can thank Outlaw Wiccan for a lot of the stranger bottles that I cut. And I'm actually going to stand back for this because I don't want to smell like vinegar. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so it went in and kind of turned itself on the way out. Of course, it also has something to do with the fact that I'm gripping it near the kashira instead of the fushira like you're supposed to, but hey, I feel like when you have to, you should be able to throw a cut in any grip, whether it's correct grip, mid grip, or all the way extended out grip. You should be able to even slide your hand midway and get a decent cut. Kind of like what Aragorn's dragon told him in the movie. When you and me are fully one, you'll be able to fight from anywhere on my back. And similar instance to the sword. This is something I never really mentioned in the... I don't think I mentioned this in the unboxing or review, but I honestly don't know if this is a good Koiguchi or a bad one. Leave a comment saying which it is. That is if anyone's still watching. No one's watching. But yeah. Overall, I'm fairly impressed. This sword definitely had its flaws when I got it, but I've been able to overlook them. So, I hope you enjoyed this kind of impromptu version of the Outlaw Samurai Show. I know that you guys have grown accustomed to me being outside when I do these and doing a lot of cutting videos. But right now, I really can't do a whole lot of cutting, not because I don't have targets. I have a shit ton of bottles at the moment and targets that are quote unquote ready to cut. It's just that at the moment, in this particular time, I'm not able to do it because it's getting into summer. We're getting ready to do a lot of the finishing up, cleaning up from winter. You know, when you're stuck in your house and all you have to do all day is argue and fight with your crazy ass uncle who never just says, go ahead, outlaw, you do it your way. No, we always have to argue and fight. But at the end of the day, we both enjoy it. It's one of those things where we just like to argue with each other and prove each other wrong. But with that in mind, I at least want to make this live stream go for a full hour. So we'll try cutting the bane of this sword's cutting career thus far. These body armor bottles. I have to say, these types of bottles, these body armors, the Powerades, the Gatorades, and even some of the weird-ass brand drinks that my Aunt Outlaw Wiccan drinks. These bottles always seem to be incredibly tough and hard to cut through if you don't have good edge alignment. These are a very good type of bottle to test your edge alignment on. I mean, when you do it right, they do that. At some point in the cut, the sword stopped and then kind of auto-corrected its way through via just plain force. I mean, don't get me wrong. This is the probably lightest feeling sword I have. And the one that I would do a lot of trick cuts with. But it's also like that nagging girlfriend analogy earlier, where it's like sometimes she wants to cooperate and not give you gripe for every little thing that you do that annoys her. And other times she just wants to go on a full-on rampage or bitch rant. But yeah. So, my noble band of outlaws. As I mentioned just a little bit ago, I actually have some shit that I need to do. I need to take one of the things is I need to take those new poor man's tatami mats I made and put them to soak. And then I need to start doing the laundry and shit to help get cut back up from winter and holidays and shit like that. So until next time, my noble band of outlaws, Outlaw Samurai tells all y'all, be crazy rednecks, be safe in using your weapons, and thank you, Little Caesars Pizza and Gargoyle Blades, for showing up. Even though I'm pretty sure you left halfway through the video because you got bored. Sorry about that. I didn't see you guys comment on anything else. Hey guys, I'm out. Peace.